Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a spreadsheet overview and welcome to my 2025 spreadsheet. So today's video is purely going to be an overview. I am not doing any in-depth tutorials. I will be doing them in the future in separate videos. And yeah, a few things to note real quick before I continue on with this overview is that this spreadsheet is completely 100% myself. However, I have taken many inspirations from multiple people, and if they have videos, I will link them in the description down below. The biggest helpness with my spreadsheet is the rating system is by Covers with Cassidy. I did tweak her formulas to fit my rating system better, but otherwise, yeah, let's just get straight into it. So for my first tab, we have books read. So these are all the books I've read in 2025. Obviously there's just a number right here, but we also have the title of the book, the month that I read the book, the author of the book, and we have the number of pages, and then we have CPWSE, which basically stands for character, plot, writing, setting, and enjoyment. You put a number between 1 through 10 and it comes out with a rating at the end. I do like to do the 1-star to 5-star rating system. I also have a DNF, so if I DNF it, I just click the little button there. We also have series information, so is it a standalone, series, manga, duology, and trilogy, with a series name, a series number. We also have series stats, so is it a new series, continuing series, completed, caught up, DNF, new and completed, and new and caught up. We also have is it a reread, new reads, and rereads. Main genres, we have so many, so if you wanted to pause here and see all of the genres I have, feel free to do so. We also have average rating, so we have middle grade, young adult, new adult, and adult. If we continue on, some things that are new for my spreadsheet this year is we have a spice rating, so we have no romance, could be romance, awkward romance, hugging, kissing and making out, a little more steamy than making out, pretty steamy, and 80 to 90% steam. We also have a crying stat, so we have no tears, just vibes, sad topics but no tears, sad and almost cried in a few pages, and full on sob. We also have the year that it was published, all the way up until 2021, and then anything after 2021, or sorry, before 2021, it's just, you mark it there. We also have subgenre. This doesn't have a specific drop down, you type whatever you want, and that's that. We also have source material, so we have hardcover, paperback, Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, Book Nook, Library Kindle, Webtoon, AO3, and other. We also have sources. We have Kindle Unlimited, Library, Owned, Hold, and Apps on Phone. The difference between owned and hold is just hold are things I hold in 25, owned is anything I owned previously to 25. We also have the format, so novel, short story, novella, manga, manhwa, all of that stuff right there. We also have the date started, so the date I first started reading the book and the date that I finished reading. I also have the date of purchase, not when it arrives to my house because I do pre-order books. This is just from the date of purchase and how many days I read it in. We also have is it a new author? If it is, click new author. If it's not, read from before. Pretty simple like that. I also have two sections right here. We have favorite quotes from the book, and book thoughts when I'm finished. And I'm really excited about the favorite quotes from books because I love looking at my quotes. But yeah, that's it for my books read. We are going to head over to my reading stat. So this reading stat is going to do an overview of literally everything in my books read. So you have my monthly read, so how many books I read per month. And we have on average how long it takes me to read a book. We have the series stats, like started, continuing, DNF, finished, not finished. We also have overall ratings right down here, and we have 2025 goals right down here as well. Nothing special, it's just click the mark button when you're done, and that's that. We also have an overall stats right up here, which tells you my total books read, my average rating for the entire year, my average books per month, so on average how many books I'm reading. We have number of rereads, number of DNFs, my page count. We have the most read authors, my top 3 authors. This pie graph right here is for my overall ratings, and then the book next to it is just a bar graph of my monthly reads. We also have the current books I'm reading, so whatever book I'm currently reading, goes right here, the author and the date that I started, because I have a really bad memory. Now, finally getting on to the actual graph and the main portion of it, we have my genres right here. Genres are categorized into 3. We have romance, fantasy, and other. Obviously just takes it from my books read. And then we also have a top 3 genres and the percentage of it as well. We also have it in a pie graph. Below this, we also have my quotes of the day / random quotes. Anytime I click the back button or I type, a new quote will appear, and that quote will then show me the title of where it's pulling that quote from, as well as the author of who wrote that quote. Before we continue going down, we're just going to move on to the right hand side, where we have my source materials in a pie chart, as well as a table, format in a pie chart and a table, my percentage of sources in pie chart table, same with rereads, author reads, my publishing year, my crying stats, my spice ratings, as well as my age ratings. We also have the author's pie right here and pages read, so that's down here as well. Moving on to my bookshelf stats. So before we're gonna flip this around real quick. This is my books owned tab right here. So this is everything that is on my physical bookshelf. So for this, how I just write it down is I have the number of books, obviously, right here on the first column. We have the title of the book, we have the author, we have what I rated the book. These first check marks are if they're read, the second check marks are if they're a DNF, the third check marks are if they're a duplicate, because I do have quite a few duplicates and I'm trying to, bring it down. So that's what that is for. We also have, is it part of a series? If it is, what's the number in the series? Genre, these are not as niche as my reading stats, but that's fine because that's how I prefer it. We have age rate. We don't have new adult, it's just adult, young adult, and middle grade. We also have source material, so hardcover or paperback. We have my format right here, so what kind of format it is. The publisher, the book color, because sometimes I do organize my books in rainbow order, so that's what that's for. We also have the date that I purchased it. Is it a special edition? This M right here is just the month that it arrived to my house, not the date of purchase. So like my Dance of Thieves Fairy Loot edition, I bought them in April, but they didn't arrive until August. That's what that is. Moving on to the actual bookshelf stats. This is basically the same thing as a reading stat, just grabbing all of the data from books owned. The only difference here really is the number of special editions, the number of duplicates. We have a books owned versus books read, which tells me the percentage of read on my bookshelf, my books owned including pre-orders, because I do pre-order books, and how many books I bought in 2025. We also have current books that I'm reading right here. They are different books just because sometimes I do read multiple books at once. The other, not same thing, is the random generator. So this works the same way as the quotes, and if I can't decide what I want to read, I just click the back button and I have a book that I can read. But the same thing goes, we have the genres right here, my top 3 genres right here, the source material. Now I do want to mention it real quick. You do see ebooks right here. I do have a tab. I'll go over it real quick. It's called digital books. This is for all of my ebooks. I don't care for my ebooks. It's something that I'm loosely keeping track of, but it's not my priority. So none of my data in my bookshelf stats is actually skewed of my ebooks. My ebooks are purely for source material, and that is it. So just wanted to put that out there real quick. But then we also have my format, and then we have age range and my overall ratings. I do have this differently to my reading stat just because I actually really like how this looks, and I may implement it into my reading stats, but that's for another time. But we do have my overall rating stats right here, and then we also have a book spot per month and an average books per month rating, on average how many books I'm buying per month, and a little line bar right here. I also do have an expected TBR to actual TBR. I realize a flaw in this is that I'm always actually going to have more of an actual TBR than I do expected, because I do get free books from subscriptions that I'm a part of. So I need to fix this. But yeah. We also have the same page rating or pages read right here. I also do have a monthly spending tracker right here with an average spending in this little table right here. This is probably blurred, like the monthly spending, just because I want to do a different video on that. But I will show and share how much I'm spending on my books. We also have my unread books, so this is an unread column or table that tells me all of my unread books on my bookshelf, the title of them, the author, the series, the number in the series, the format that they are as well. We also have authors right down here. This authors column has way more people than my reading stat, and we also have a top 3 authors on my bookshelf. This little geographic graph of the United States is where I've sold my books to. So if I've sold a book, it just highlights it as where I sold it, and this is my least expensive to most expensive state, just because that is the only way I was able to organize it. It kind of sucks because I don't really care about how much I sold to a state, more so than how much I care where they're going, but this is the only way I was able to get that graph working for now. We also have my yearly savings, so how much I saved on physical books, digital books, my digital library, digital or physical library, digital Kindle Unlimited, and physical Kindle Unlimited. Moving on, we have finances. Not going to spend too much because this is probably blurred, but we do have my yearly stats, so total books that I have purchased, how many duplicates, and how many were not duplicates. We also have the sources, so everywhere or in each place that I've bought a book from, the source will be right here with the number of purchases. I have my hauled books format. I also have a bought versus gifted piegram and a lot of charts regarding gifted, bought, purchases, impulse buys, savings, all of that right down here. But I'm gonna skip past that for now. We also have series owned. So this is my favorite tab of them all. I really like seeing my series. So we have a series owned tracker right here. We have a series average, so all of the series combined, this is my series average. We also have a collection tracker, which totals up everything, making sure that I'm at 100% with my collection. Same thing with my reading tracker right here. It tells me my percentage of my reading or my read spreadsheet. This number, do not mind it, that doesn't exist and we are not talking about that. Anyways, we have series title, so what's the series name, the average rating for that series for me, what kind of series it is, so is it duology, trilogy, saga, manga, light novel, graphic novel, the author, the year that I started to purchase it, the year that I finished collecting it. We have how many are in a series. If I don't know how many are in the series but there's at least 14 books, I put 14 in a little plus sign. The yellow means that I have collected it and it's in my possession, or I have at least pre-order it. The check mark means that I've read it. The brown tan bits, those means that I know that there's books but I can't either purchase it or they're not up for pre-order yet. That's what that means. We also have the publisher, so I have Fairly, Owl Crate, Limit Crate, Afterlight, Bookish Box, Barnes & Noble, LitJoy, first edition, multiple editions, random editions, and standard editions. Standards are like standard hardcover and standard paperback. We also have series status collection right here, so yet again, what kind of series it is. And then to the right, which you can't really see, but this is just my reading status for my series. That's what that is. And these colors do mean something. Red means I've dropped them. Blue means I'm caught up. Green means that I am completed. And orange means that I'm in progress. Moving on to my hauled books. So these are the books that I hauled in 2025. We have the month that I hauled them, the title. Now I do have some book subscriptions, and so my placeholder is just the publisher or the name of the book subscription, and this tells me how much I'm spending per month on the book subscriptions. And we have the date that I purchased it, the order number, and the date that I placed the order. What is the status on it? So placed, shipped, canceled, returned, sold, my cost before taxes and shipping, my cost after, the retail price, and my savings. It also tells me where I purchased it from, the format that it was purchased, how I acquired it, did I purchase it, was it gifted to me, or did I use a gift card, series number, and is it a special edition, which you can barely see. There you go. That is what that is. Moving on to my sold books, we have my total, like the month that I sold the book, the title of the book, the author, the date that I sold it, the order number. We have, is it completed, placed, shipped, delivered, canceled, how much I sold it for, how much I originally paid for it, my profit, the platform that I used, the format that I used, the income or how I acquired the income, and where I am shipping it to. We also have SE, which is just special, was it a special edition? And then we also have SAK and EA, which basically means save a skip, and early access, or was it early access as well? I also have a little reason for unhaul. Now this is my subscription planner. So obviously I have 3 active subscriptions right now. This tells me all of the book picks from 2023 up until the latest, and just to make sure that I am liking the book picks and that I'm that I'm spending money for and everything like that. And I'll go into this later, but yeah, this is that for now. We also have monthly stats in a overview shape. So we have the month that I am looking at currently. We have the same thing: books read, pages read, average books per day, average rating. The only difference is I do have a crying stats right here. The rereads, book acquired, sold books, my library checkout, series started, series finished in that month. This is all for the month of January. How many or what kind of books I read in January, how many books I bought in January, how many books I bought in January, and the authors that I read in January as well. And it will just continue going down the list. I can click here and it switches to February, and it'll fill out all the February data as well. This monthly stats column is the exact same data, just in column format, all the way until January or December, and you can see them side by side instead of having to flip through one on one. We also have a monthly stats, so this, or not monthly stats, sorry, monthly TBR. So each month I put the books that are releasing and the books I am planning on reading. Whenever I do finish reading it, just click the little check mark there, and that's that. We also have the library tab, so this is where I see how much I saved using my library, where we have the month that I read the library book / checked out the library book, the title of the library book, the author of the library book. We also have if I already have it physical or if I have not read it before. If I do already have a physical, I put that I saved nothing because I didn't. However, since I don't have the ebook, that's where all my savings are going. If I have not read it from before, I fill both of these out, the physical and the ebook price. And we also have a price explanation. Now, the only reason I have a price explanation is because sometimes I'll put $100 in physical, and it's because I was going to spend the money on a special edition and then I ended up reading it in the library, so I didn't have to spend $100 for it, if that makes any sense. And then on a similar concept, we have the Kindle Unlimited, where you have the month that I read it, the title. This is supposed to be author, but I got lazy. We have the same thing, already have physical, not read. Same situation here. However, because Kindle Unlimited obviously is a monthly subscription, this is the cost of Kindle Unlimited from January 1st all the way into February 1st. However, because Kindle Unlimited was free for a month, at least in my case, Kindle Unlimited cost me nothing, and I saved $196.61 and $244.18, not subtracting any Kindle Unlimited price because it didn't cost me anything. If it did cost me that $11.99, then it would be subtracted from both cases. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, let me know and what other ideas and other stats you would like me to put here. And yeah.